My name is Bill. Fuck. My name is Bill Wilkins, and I'm 72 years old.
Yeah, no, I'm not. How's it going, everybody? Rob here, back with another video, and you know what? It's another episode of NOVAKORP. I'm still on the Conjuring universe kick, so I can get all the movies out of the way. And last time we spoke about Annabelle, and now we are focusing on The Conjuring 2. The next movie that was released in order of the whole franchise, and it is following another case that they took part in. So I would say, like, in terms of some of these cases, it's interesting because, especially with, like, again, back in the day, whether you believe what they were doing was actually true or not, their names were well known, and it even goes far as, like, I guess overall, like, their involvement in possible cases with Amityville, as well as the case in England, which I'm gonna say is interesting to witness. First, I should mention that it was directed, or The Conjuring 2 was directed by James Wan, written by Chad Hayes, Carrie W. Hayes, James Wan, starring Vera Farmiga, Patrick Wilson, Madison Wolfe, and many, many others. Overall, the story itself, again, follows the Warrens going to London after a case, or at least I want to say some tour, and after a case in Amityville, where they have to try to help a mother and her 4 children being plagued by an unhuman spirit, so to speak. I want to say, like, some of the one thing I want to say right off the bat is some of the, I want to say, the tension, some of the scare that you get with the first movie is really, really carried over in this one. And I want to say there are certain things that the first one did, that The Conjuring 2 ends up building up on. For instance, like, there are certain scares that are pretty cool where you have the characters reacting to something and you don't exactly see what's in the room with them. And normally it's, like, in the corner or in the darkness. And I want to say, for the most part, they do their best, or at least the creators of this movie do their best to basically not show you immediately what the threat is. I mean, but at some point we do end up seeing the actual, entity that is causing all of this to occur. But overall, it's done in a very subtle way. And I will say, again, since this is a movie, it is in the realm of fiction. So you're going to have things like the Crooked Man, like this freaking 15-foot creature that a little boy sees that is basically been morphed from a dog, chasing him around only for it to be his sister being possessed. To, this, spiritual, or at least this inhuman, entity that looks like a nun that's actually a demon following people around. Again, it's fiction, but overall, like, I will say some of the designs for the creatures in this one are interesting. And I will say that it kind of sets it up where, and I'm hoping this is actually the case, and, like, because again, it is based on some of their cases, where it kind of sets it up where whatever this entity is, which obviously it's a demon, it is taking on forms to basically mask itself, hiding behind an actual spirit And with Lorraine Warren possibly being psychic, making it almost difficult for her to recognize what the threat is. And it's like to building up to that, which was pretty damn cool. And like I said before, since I'm a big fan of like some of the paranormal. I was a big fan of the paranormal investigator shows that really focus on the evidence of things. I like the fact that this time around for the movie, it focuses on some of the scrutiny that some of these paranormal investigations got, with people questioning the exact, I want to say, verification of whether they were occurring, or if there was actual proof of it, or if the proof was real, if it was just fabricated, and this and that. Amityville being, and I like that, the beginning of the movie, it focuses on Amityville, which is one of the greatest locations that a lot of people question was legit haunted or not. And as you guys know, for a lot of people that know, that was like the focus for a lot of different movies. Some good, some bad, some just plain weird. I mean, there's literally a freaking Amityville movie where a freaking lamp is possessed by the demon. And no, I'm not even kidding about that. You can actually look that up. It is literally a possessed lamp. And it has a body count. That's insane. But anyway, this movie, I will say, the pacing itself really good. Characters, a lot of fun. Certain moments involving the nun, which ironically, like, after this movie does get its own spin-off. Well, technically two. It's intriguing overall. This movie has, I will say, the use of color, the use of characters, music, everything that was going on in this is, I want to say, it's not, okay, it's an experience. And a lot of times, it's not a good experience. And I mean, good, not good in a good way. Because as you're watching this, you are going to feel a little bit uncomfortable. Because, with it being loosely based on the supposed cases, you somewhat feel bad for the families that go through these, or go through these events. Especially with, like, I think it was the Hodgsons, who have to deal with this paranormal entity that is basically terrorizing their home, terrorizing the family, the mother, the kids, and so on. It's, I mean, honestly, I would not wish that on my family either. It's a freaking, it would be a horrible experience. So, all in all, though, you know what? I'll say this. I really enjoyed this. It does the movie itself does what it needs to in terms of how you feel about it, about its characters, about what's going on with the family. And as I said before, the fact that with this time around, you have the investigations somewhat put into scrutiny, or put basically kind of put on a pedestal of like whether they were factual or not, is prominent with this movie. And also it plays a really big part towards the climax, where again you have people who question of whether these things actually happen or not. So all in all, really good movie. Really enjoyed it. The ending itself, I'll say it. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad either. So I feel like I don't know what to give this, honestly, because like I said, I rewatched it recently, and I've been wondering of how I would rate this. You know what? I'm gonna give this a watch it now. I feel like this is a movie that deserves it. It did everything that I kind of expected for a movie like this, where again it is based on real people, and even though it's like it's more fictional because it is a movie, it's nice that many things that went on with the case, or at least the families, is in a sense kind of implemented into this story. So anyway, really enjoyed this. Looking forward to actually technically not really looking forward to the next one, because apparently the next one is Annabelle Creation. Good lord, I'm not looking forward to that. Not looking forward to it at all, but we'll see. So anyway, for now, I'm gonna go ahead and end this here. Everybody, thank you so much for watching or listening, depending on how you were gonna watch or consume this content. As I said before, watch it now. Please show support, show some love to this movie. It's awesome. If you're a fan of scary movies like myself and many others. So anyway, with that being said, thank you all for viewing, listening, so on. If you guys can, please leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. If you guys want to follow us on social media, it's all in the description down below, as well as check out our daily content and the weekly podcast. With that being said, this is Rob of Novakast signing off. Have a good one. Take care, and I will see you guys next video.